Welcome back. This is Empower, the program that focuses on people and workplace. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. Before we took a break, we are looking at the benefits of organizations working in having integrity or embracing integrity in their business, in their relationships with customers. And we talked about two before we left. We talked about perception and also trust, because trust and perception are key when you're dealing with customers and partners. And when you're talking about trust, Ryan, I thought about trust comes also with confidence. People can really have confidence with your brand, and they feel these are the people to go for. And it helps the business to grow, or maybe you may not be more of profit making, but you get, for you to achieve the mandate that God has given you as an organization, then more people would want to work with you to achieve that, because they have confidence with you.
Exactly.
And even I can refer to someone and say, okay, you know what, I know an organization that deals with, and actually those people are straightforward. And it can become a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe you can tell us, because of this history, or this stand that MAF has, of being an organization of integrity that values that, what are some of the challenges that have come with that? Because I believe sometimes we are challenged, or we face them, because not all people will agree with us. Even some who are Christians or even Christian-based organizations, they still want to bend at some point.
Yes, exactly.
So maybe what are some of the challenges that you have faced as an organization because of embracing integrity?
Yeah, there's definitely challenges that come along.
Yes.
I think the main challenges are maybe the fact that it takes longer to achieve something if you are not willing to bend or flex. So that can be a frustration, especially if you observe other organizations or companies who are getting somewhere quicker than you because they're taking different routes.
Yes.
So that can be a challenge and a frustration. And even sometimes things, they cost more.
Yes.
If you follow the appropriate routes, sometimes, there are other ways to get things done.
Yes.
But if you follow the right route, it can cost more and it can take longer.
Yes.
And that's something, it is frustrating at times, but it's something we've accepted that, hey, our core value is integrity.
Yes.
We are willing to accept these challenges,
Yes.
no matter what. So I think they're the main, probably the main challenges. But if you look at it from the other side, taking these shortcuts, bending these rules, it's usually for a short-term advantage.
Yes.
To get something quickly or achieve something. But if you look at it from a long-term perspective, at some point those shortcuts, those things you're doing for a short-term gain, you'll either get caught, it will bring you unstuck, it affects your reputation when things happen that shouldn't. So even though sometimes you think, hey, if I just do this, I'll get this short-term gain, but you have to look at it in a long-term perspective.
In the long term.
And in being in Kenya 63 years, we have a long-term perspective, and it's worked for us long-term. You see other businesses, other companies who come, they rise, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And another one comes with a different name. But I think, maybe it's taking shortcuts, something goes wrong, you need to change who you are. But in MAF, we've decided this is who we are. We'll accept the challenges as they come. But in the long term, it's a huge benefit because of reputation and things like that.
Wow. So you're saying sometimes it may not be so easy to get even opportunities because, and also even customers will ask, why do you have to ask for this? Why do you have to, all these things. But if you are a person that have decided that this is the way to go, and especially being the country director, you've been entrusted to ensure that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you mess the organization. So it means that you can say no to a certain business. Yeah,
it's true.
And you can lose some opportunities, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. And some of the people around you might say, we missed a good opportunity there. But sometimes you'd have to say, but remember, these are our values. You can see it on the wall there in our offices. These are our core values. We can't flex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope that, my prayer is that most of us would be able to stand like that, because you realize sometimes compromising is easy.
It is.
And for someone to say, okay, I would rather lose this, but still maintain my integrity because I value this. This is what I stand for as a person and also as an organization. And also considering that you have a mandate on earth as a human being or as an organization to fulfill.
Yes.
And I loved what you said, you're witnesses. So you really have to witness for Christ the right way.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. So challenges will come.
Definitely they'll come.
It's not going to be easy.
And maybe it sounds like I'm speaking like, you know, we have the very high level, but as I said
Yes.
earlier, we make mistakes.
That's true.
We stumble,
Yes.
but the key is to own up to it, I think, and to apologize if it's to our customer. I'm sorry, we messed up. We didn't reach the level of service we promised
Yes.
we would provide. We're sorry for that, but we'll do better next time. Yeah, and you address it with your team. It's also important to address it with your team and say, guys, we didn't quite meet
Yes.
the level that we say we will. We have a no blame culture in MAF.
Yes.
If we make mistakes, we don't want people to hide them for fear of losing their job.
Yes.
It's really important. If you want integrity in the workplace, you also have to be vulnerable and open to some of the mistakes you've made,
Yes.
because we can all learn from it. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's really important as well, I think, is that side of things.
Well, so there's something that, as you're discussing that, came up to okay, something that I got from what you have said. When you say we don't have it's a no-blame environment, that means, is it that for us to succeed in having integrity at workplace, then we need to embrace it within our culture? That all of us know, here, if you make a mistake, please accept it was a mistake. So it has to be part of the culture for it to work.
Yeah,
And I think that is what you people have done.
Yeah, we've tried. It's also a really strong thing in the aviation industry, is no blame. Because you always want to be improving the service you provide as a flying aircraft and fixing aircraft. So, if you hide a mistake you made when you were fixing an aircraft, that can have effects for the people you fly. So it's really important to be able to just have that no blame culture. But it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to develop.
Yes.
And even to ensure your employees feel safe.
Yes.
Because it's not a normal culture, I don't think, in many businesses.
It's not normal.
You need to hide your mistake for fear of, out the door.
That's true. Yes.
But you also have to balance it. I'm not saying in MAF if you do a terrible thing, you won't lose your job.
Because you can lose.
You can lose. But that's more for things like gross misconduct, where you purposefully did something. So that's now we're talking about HR things, but but for errors and mistakes, we correct them, we learn from them, we move on, and we.
That's true. And you see, for it to come to gross misconduct, something you did purposefully, that's something you already know that I'm not supposed to do.
Exactly.
And then I did it. So that now it's, of course, the procedures, other procedures take place, because also, again, it doesn't operate on its own, and its integrity has to apply in all procedures and processes within the business.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes we have had people or organizations losing business as a result of maintaining integrity. That's what we have said. And as a result of this, we find some people can be frustrated, including employees.
Yes.
So for you to take care of employees within an organization, of course, being the country director, there are people, all those people direct reports, the others reporting to the direct reports, all that. So how do you ensure that these people, you know what you're saying, they don't fear that? How do you ensure that happens? That is true, this thing can happen, is true, these situations can come in, but how do you help the employees themselves, other than induction, to embrace this integrity thing that this is what we stand for and you can't question it. You have to walk with it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think sometimes in our business there's some things that are very clear.
Yes.
Because of regulations that we have to work under, that we can't do this and we can't do this. But then there are some things that is more a choice you make.
Yes.
Not so much about regulation, but maybe the organization that wants to do business with you is not maybe have the same values as you. So you have to make a decision that's not like black or white. And that's when I think people can say, hey, we missed out on this business.
Yes,
We could have benefited from this. But I think the important thing is to have a discussion about that. If there are people who are questioning why we lost this business, why did we make this decision, I think it's about being open, being vulnerable with your team and saying, hey guys, I know we said no to this opportunity, but this is why. As an organization, these are our values. For them, this is what they wanted to do. We didn't feel like we fit very well together.
Yes.
So we've made a choice not to do it.
So,
I think it's that openness.
Yes, openness. So would you say it's good for organizations to speak about it quite often? Considering that humanly speaking, or as human beings, because of our nature, sometimes we easily want to do the wrong thing. Even if we are Christians, you can be tempted to do that. So is it something that, would you say it's something that we really have to keep talking about?
Absolutely. Not just in the workplace, even at home, in your personal life.
Yes.
And I think it's about having that open door policy. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of meetings, but I do hopefully encourage my team and the people who work in MAF that they can come to my office, sit down, and we can have a chat about something. Wow. And then if it requires further discussion, we get some people in and we have a discussion about it.
Wow.
So I think it's that you hear in many places we have open door policy. It's also a hard thing because if you have an open door policy, it means people are going to come and question what you do, what decisions you've made. But you have to try and be humble and allow that culture in your organization.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you tell organizations that are struggling with integrity? Having worked in MAF, having been in Kenya for 13 years, and overseeing the operations in Kenya, Juba, and all those things. So what did you say that, what did you tell some organizations that are struggling? Because they are there.
They're there.
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, you have to sit down, whether it's as a management leadership team or a board, and make a decision that this is our value that we aspire to and what we value. And we need to start making decisions.
Yes.
It's very hard. I'm not discouraging someone, but if you're one person who values it in an organization that doesn't, it can be very hard. But I think one day at a time. But if you're in the leadership side of things, I think you just have to make a conscious decision that this is who we are. This is the way we are going to operate. From now on, we base our decisions on this core value of integrity. It wouldn't be an easy thing to do. To be honest, I'm very blessed to work for an organization that has this history and it becomes easy to step into it.
Yes.
But to try and change it, I think it's a tough job, and I encourage those people out there who have that task, to stay strong.
Yes.
And push for it. As I said, maybe there's some short-term benefits you'll miss, but the long-term benefits, hopefully the company will be still there in 10, 15, 20, 60 years' time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ryan. It was just amazing to listen to you. And I believe that if you're deliberate as organizations, as individuals, then we can become the people of integrity.
Exactly.
And as you say that there are many benefits that come in, and there are two benefits that are very key. There is a trust and reputation. And reputation in the market definitely brings more people, more business, and of course, continuity. We need to wrap up this program because our time is over. So maybe your last word.
Wow. My last word is, I think as Christians, God has called us to live a life of integrity. No matter where we work, in our workspace, in our home space, and as we mentioned earlier, to be a witness. Yes. If you want to be a witness for Christ, you need to have integrity in your life.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We are coming to the end of this program, and I believe that you've learned a lot. May the Lord help us to be people of integrity wherever He has placed us, so that we can glorify Him in our lives. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. See you next week.